Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 501c Drop. I'm Leya Simmons. I am CEO and co-founder of BetterUnite, and I am your host, as always, for our 501c Drop webinar and now podcast. It is available to you. These are all available to you to listen to on Spotify. I'm joined today by a good friend of mine and of BetterUnite, Ryan Woroniecki. I have known Ryan for actually, what is it now? 4 or 5 years, I guess, Ryan. Isn't that right?
I don't even know if we met during the pandemic or right after. It
It
was
was, I
a
was,
goofy
I'm pretty
time.
sure it was right after. But
Okay.
anyway, I've known Ryan for a while. He has worked in and among in around nonprofit software industry for about a decade. Is that right? Am I right about that, Ryan? Even
Yeah.
longer? Yeah.
Unfortunately, even longer. Yes.
Fortunately for us, maybe unfortunately for you. Yeah, no. So, and Ryan is an incredible guy, one of the best networkers I have ever in my life experienced. I'm going to stop sharing that. And so just talk to you. And Ryan comes to us today with Feathr. Feathr, and I'm gonna actually kick it over to you, Ryan. You all are digital ads. Like in my brain, that's the word that when I think of Feathr, that's what comes to me. So why don't you introduce yourself and Feathr, please?
Thanks, Leah. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Really happy to be here.
Happy to
Happy to
have you.
talk to everybody here. Nonprofit tech and specifically how organizations can modernize the way they operate is it sounds goofy, but that's actually a passion of mine, right? Like as a sector, if you look historically, we've been lagging behind for a long time. One of the
Yeah.
ways that typically comes up when people talk about it now is AI, right? But marketing technology and standard processes are one of those ways, and that's what we do here at Feathr. So we're a digital marketing platform that is purpose built for nonprofits. We basically empower organizations to use the same tools that Fortune 500 companies use that otherwise aren't really affordable. So when you think of that, think like paid digital advertising. You know how ads might follow you all over the internet. That's a big component of what we do. We're an email marketing platform as well. We have really cool tracking software. You know, if you're not working with us and you're running ads, there's a good chance that you might be running ads directly through Meta and then directly through Google and directly in a bunch of other places. And it's really difficult to kind of wrangle all of that
Yeah.
audience. So we have tracking software that basically allows you to see what's going on across all of those platforms. And then based on that, some really cool automations and of course AI to help with like audience selection and other elements of the campaign.
So
So
we
those are
were
the
super
things.
thrilled to integrate with Feathr earlier. Was it this year or maybe late last year? But so within Better Unite, it's now very easy to, utilize the incredible tech that Feathr offers and have that with your Better Unite account. But that's not really what we're here to talk about today, Ryan. I really wanted to give you kind of free reign to discuss, show us, talk to us about all of the magic that Feathr has to offer.
Well, thanks. I'm gonna try to keep it as feather free as possible, if you will. I got a deck. It's branded Feathr. The things I'm going to talk about you can do on Feathr, but you could also do many of them directly without us. And the thought is like these are the best practices.
Yeah.
Folks should be doing them. There's technical stuff I'm not going to talk about, which is like related to the tracking code, among other things, or how do you set up a campaign. But we'll keep it all high level about what organizations can do to grow revenue, attendees, sponsors, all of the things
I love
uh,
that.
as it pertains to events. And so we're going to test this out. We're going to see if I can share my screen.
Let's go. You
And
got
are we
it.
popped
I
up?
can see it. Uh-huh.
All right. So we're going to, ooh, all right. So let me kind of go through. Cool. One last thing. You have questions, comments, please just go ahead and pop them in the chat. And it says, are you live?
We are live. Patty, we'll troubleshoot as you go, Ryan, and then we'll make sure that Patty gets and Susan Rhodes says she's okay. So, okay, well, we've got but Patty, we'll get you a recording if we aren't able to get you, but I will, as Ryan starts presenting, I'll work on this. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Never heard that said before. That's a good one. Yeah, yeah. Sure. I think that's true. And it does, even the ones that do, like eventually you hit some sort of roadblock, something happens. So there you go. Mm. Yeah, I do think that I think there is definitely a growth in digital ads among nonprofits that we're starting to see, which I'm so happy to see. Just because, I mean, I know from Better Unite and our marketing efforts that email engagement rates are so down. Apple kind of messed all of that up for us when they segmented everything, and so while this is not my area of expertise by any means, as you can tell what I'm saying, I do gather that it is just really difficult. And then you're kind of limited to the people that you've already got in your ecosystem when you're sending out emails. So I am seeing more and more organizations now. I do see a lot of like organic attempts at organic social, which I think is hard. Or it just seems to me as though those accounts don't do as well, the business account or the organization account. But yeah, I think it's a kind of a wild west where people don't really know where to turn or what to do. I mean, I guess there's also a lot of, sorry, just thinking it through as I'm saying it. I think there is also a lot of of hope, kind of fingers crossed and getting it out there, of word of mouth, right? Like for an event, trying to identify ambassadors for the event early on and get them to go out and talk to their friends about the event. But again, these are all very, very small compared to what you're describing. Yeah, of course. Oh, right. Mhm. Sure. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I think that's great guidance, Ryan, because absent I think every event is some form of experience. I mean, and there is some way that it can be framed as such. And the vast majority of the people that are attending these events are attending for the experience, whether or not, even if they're saying to themselves they're doing it because they're, good-hearted and they support the organization and they support their mission. They're still there for the community to talk to each other, to do these things. And I really love the guidance of having people, or of in your advertisements and in your communications talking about the experience of it. Good job. Hmm. Yeah. Sure. I mean, there's so much opportunity post event as well to encourage people to, make a recurring donor, to convert them into a different type of engaged donor for the organization. So it's incredible guidance for getting data on those people. Hopefully your event software is also capturing a lot of that, but I mean, getting them from a different way aside from the email that you might send is a really with useful tactic. It happens all the time. 100%. Because you'll also see a lot of times too, where I mean, with Better Unite, you can do like a combined registration when you have, a husband and wife or partners that are together on a register. But a lot of the time, only pair of the one partner in the pair, I guess I'm saying that right, comes up to the registration table and gives you all of their information. And maybe you get the name of the other part. Well, that person's a whole human person that you can engage separately. And so there's just a lot of use cases for what you're saying, Ryan. Yeah, I love that. Sponsor content. Yep. Yeah. That's a great one. Maybe kind of like zooming out as opposed to being too close in. Okay. Right? The people that you already know that are already in your ecosystem. Alumni, yeah. This is that part where people think their phones are listening to them or something like that. You think. I think it's actually I believe that some of it is the same because like you didn't realize that you actually like paused on that ad or that you know maybe you did click through something and then you kept going and then it surfaces back like just happens to be when you were talking about this thing that was in your brain. Anyway, I think this is true. Me? Me. Okay. Well, there's probably quite a few examples of this. I recently ordered some saffron that you consume, like not the spice for food, but that you take as a supplement. And I looked at it because I was curious about it. Because actually my doctor talked to me about this, that it's like a mood booster. I don't know, some hippie stuff. And and then I was like, curious about it. And then I saw it like come back to me. I don't remember where, on Instagram or something like that. And then, and admittedly, I did buy it. I even subscribed. So all in. Exactly. I'm literally a recurring donor to a for-profit company selling brain boosting herbal supplementation. Okay, I will. I will. I'm curious. Yeah, right. Yeah. I totally agree too. And also, Ryan, we see, and I get both sides of it, but I would encourage organizations to ask for as little information on an event registration form as possible. But to your point, sometimes I need to know a t-shirt size. There is an ask for a peer-to-peer fundraising page that you could create, or, if I'm asking you to buy a table, then, you can give me all of your guest information. And so there ends up being a lot to do. And frankly, I mean, aside from just I don't know the information. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's too much. I'm not going to do it right now, you know? Exactly. Now I'm going to go ask, then I forget to come back. And then, yeah, exactly. A little bit, a little bit. Hmm. Is that the number? Whoa, I didn't realize it was that high. I was what? I was not one of the three. Yeah. Mhm. And I would bet you higher for events, honestly. Because there's more information that we're trying to gather as we're asking them. And in some ways, it's a different type of commitment. Like I'm saying, I'm actually going to go to a thing. Like I'm committing my time as opposed to I'm making a gift to this donation, to this nonprofit, et cetera. I don't know. I would think I could be wrong. I can actually make the other argument now that I'm thinking about it, but I would wager that it's at least very close to that number. Yeah. Now, I'm actually going for a thing that doesn't, has is time bound, but I don't know. I think it would probably be about the same. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's just a reminder to me, like, and I personally need reminders. Like, I don't forget. Yeah, I like the lists. Yeah, so great. Yeah, yeah, true. I'm sure. Yeah, Impressive. Sure. Wow. That's so great. Get it out of the way early. Let it happen. Be done. Yeah, it is. Silent auction. Yeah, as I'm saying. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Meetings and I said meetings and that sort of thing. Yeah. Oh. I talk about this all the time. I will admit, I'm obsessed with two things about events with the nonprofits. I'm obsessed with very fast check-in, and I am obsessed with what organizations do after the event ends. I'm convinced that this is a place that we as an industry, we as a sector can move forward and take much more advantage of the opportunity that's right there, is really like guiding our attendees to whatever type of event we're doing through a curated, cultivated path or funnel or whatever word you want to use for it, so that we can really help them along the way and get them to not just attend next year but do another thing, right? Volunteer, become a recurring donor. Anyway, I'm on my soapbox, so you're going to speak to it, which I'm excited about. That's why I like that so much. Sure. Exactly. Yeah. Love it. Yep. Continuity. Yeah. So a specific landing page that they go to from that ad. Got it. The registration page, exactly. Sure. Sure. That's what I think is so like revelatory as well, Ryan, is that it does, sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, it feels like the Wild West. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do first. And I don't even know what step to take. Like, it was programmed in me to send the emails, to do this, I mean, in my experience, small bit of stewardship that people will see people do, throughout the year with their event attendees. But the taking another step to beyond just a social post, an organic social post, feels like a lot of times I know that organizations feel that they don't know how to do it at all. So I love that there's this kind of one space, you all, Feathr, that they can go to and get that guidance. That was the other thing that was coming to me. Yeah, as you're speaking too, I just think we talk a lot about generational giving and that there's such differences in the ways that, and this is a part of what I also think with the event scene as, both a cultivation event, a cultivation experience, so a full campaign, and as an experience of its own, because I do think younger generations, when they're attending events, they are often, they're less driven by mission, just like they're less driven by, loyalty to a nonprofit when they donate. They're much more, we're much more driven by like fidelity to a cause. They go to the event to experience a thing or to be with friends or to whatever, and they kind of expect a return of some sort. And so when you serve that up in your ads, look at you, I just saw your photo. What are you with? Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, Ryan, you're brutally candid. I love it. It's one of my favorite parts about you. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and I think from the data that I read too, it's really like starting at Gen X and to millennials, to which at this point is the bulk of people donating, and this great wealth transfer coming. These are the people that, we need to be focusing on over the next 20 years, and this is the way to get to them. Maybe not the way, one of the ways. Exactly. Well, I can't thank you enough, Ryan, for this presentation. It was incredible, and I hope very eye-opening for a lot of our nonprofits that these things, I mean, in your again, your brutal, candid comments, which is that it will take some time, it is going to take some sort of investment, but the ROI is very obviously there, to the extent that I can think of 2 days ago when I bought saffron following exactly the same path. So we've all experienced that, the retargeting that happens. Of course. I know. Ryan and I will be at the Virtuous Respond. Is that right? Is that the Virtuous Respond, I think that's right. In Dallas next week, starting Wednesday, which is, I think, the 27th, 28th, and 29th. So if you're in Dallas or you're a Virtuous user, or you're thinking about going to the Respond Summit, you should. And you should come say hi to both Ryan and I, who will be there. And I'm so excited to finally, I get to see you in real life. IRL really soon. All right, Ryan, I'm going to take over your share and show, here we go, that you can contact Ryan if you have questions here, ryan.woroniecki at feathr.co. And if you've got other questions, you can always send them to me, Leya at betterunite.com, or support at betterunite.com. I know we've got have lots of people that will watch the recording. So if you've got questions or are interested in what Feathr offers, and if you're a BetterUnite user, the integration is right there. You can easily get there. I also want to talk about next week. So we are going to have a 501c drop on Tuesday, May 26th, which is the day after Memorial Day. But I will be joined by Megan Draper, a nonprofit consultant with Philanthrope Reimagined. And she's going to talk to us about the hidden cost of doing good things, compassion fatigue, and the capacity gap in the nonprofit sector. There's a QR code there if you'd like to scan that and register. I think Ryan and I both know very well that that is definitely an issue that does plague our sector, has maybe for as long as the sector has been a thing. But I'm really looking forward to hearing Megan talk about that. And then if you've got questions about BetterUnite, always scan that QR code as well for a demo, or email us at support@betterunite.com. You can also go email Ryan for the same thing at Feathr, or we can connect everybody all at the same time. All things that are possible. Ryan, thank you again. I so appreciate you joining me today. I hope this message and idea gets out and among, really gets through to a lot of the nonprofits that we work with, and specifically pointing to your events that you're spending money on, that you're really like using as a launch pad for your fundraising microcosm of your fundraising plan. This is a really great way, I think, to engage and extend the reach of the events. Yeah. You're welcome. Thanks, Ryan. I'll see you next week. And for the rest of you, I hope I will see you next Tuesday on the 501c drop. Otherwise, let us know if there's anything else that we can help you with. Goodbye, everybody. Let's all go do some good.